The government of Kenya, through the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, rolled over a new curriculum in the year 2018. The CBC curriculum was rolled out in a pre-primary and in grade 1 in the year 2018. It was later started in 2019.
Sound education.
Education.
Just give us basic education.
Education.
Gold is good.
Yeah.
Silver is good.
Yeah.
But they are not our pride.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our pride is education.
Education.
Education is our pride.
Yeah. Yeah.
The CBC curriculum is expected to be fully rolled out by the year 2027.
Show me your hands.
This is my hands.
My head, my shoulder, knees and toes.
My head, my shoulder, knees and toes.
Knees and toes, knees and toes. My head, my shoulder,
Knees and toes.
they all belong to Jesus. La la.
You'll not force a learner who is a performing artist to go and play football because that is not his or her field.
Ikomero, Ikomero.
A wonderful school.
A wonderful
Sasa mnanipatia wiri.
school.
Most of the activities are done by the learners as guided by the teacher. The teachers find CBC very enjoyable and interesting.
And I've come to like the CBC curriculum compared to the former thematic curriculum. Since with CBC curriculum, learners' talents are nurtured in all the learning areas, whereby we are having the 7 learning areas. We have language learning activities areas and mathematics activity areas. We also have environmental activity areas, physical psychomotor activity area, religion education area. And in all these areas, we've realized that learners' talents are nurtured, whereby a child is able to come up with the positive self-esteem regarding to what she or he can carry out without being forced. But the child is able just to do things according to what he or she knows from known to unknown. As per the CBC curriculum is giving us direction, we as ECD teachers. So we are very happy about the new design, and it is giving us, we as teachers, humble time to nurture our young learners' talents.
Education system diversifies itself into 3 major pathways. That is the arts and sports science, the social sciences, and STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It is believed that in CBC, before we get to these pathways, the learner has been prepared through various subject or learning areas where his or her potential has been identified, so that at this particular level, the learner is only taken to where his ability is, where his interest is.
Say the sound. Sound. Okay, we want to read this word. Say the sound first. Read the word.
CBC requires full-time parent involvement. However, the parents are not willing to be involved. They are not embracing the system.
The parents are the ones who are not cooperating. When you tell these pupils there is a take-home assessment, parents don't even look at it. They go with it that way, they come that way, then it comes back to us again. And yet that one requires parent involvement. Then in CBC we require a lot of practicals, whereby parents are supposed to provide some items like, I did a practical in health practices. Pupils were supposed to come with the items like soap, handkerchiefs. Surprisingly, a whole class, there were only 3. So the main problem is parents' involvement. They are still too low.
And what about the learners? Do they understand the system?
This CBC is not good. Imagine when I'll be in Form 1, even a grade 4 people will be in Form 1. Haki tutakuwa tunasoma nini?
Siku hizi masomo ni mzuri. Hata ukianka mtihani utaenda Form 1.
CBC, the competency-based curriculum, is actually a very, very good system of education that focuses mostly on making the learner to grow holistically. Far from the other particular curriculum, that is the 844, in CBC, a learner can engage into a number of activities, and as he or she is doing that, we can get to identify which particular area that this learner is good in, so that he or she can go into that direction and achieve what he or she requires to achieve in making sure that his or her life is good. If you want to become a doctor, you can become a doctor. There are some learners who are not actually very good in things to do with mathematics, but you put that learner in the field, you will see him playing football very seriously. You can see that learner engaging in athletics, and in athletics, you in 1 minute or 3 minutes, it's only area where you earn a lot of money in a lesser time as compared to maybe engineering. You will find a pupil who is doing drama, music, excelling, and taking that as a profession. Now, every talent, CBC has turned each and every learner's talent into a profession. That is something very, very good. And I think that if we continue like this, then we are going to have diversity in terms of the profession. Things like the spoken word, somebody just moving people and inspiring people through spoken word, that is a profession. Somebody just singing a lot, entertaining people and all that, then that becomes a profession. We look at the carpenters. These people are just born. You can't force somebody to become a carpenter when he or she is destined to become a doctor. So 844 was forcing. We were actually creating some robots out of human beings. But CBC, we want to create reality, real people with real professions, and not such kind of robotic profession that we had, that you find somebody who is an engineer and cannot even write something good, can't even write a paper on what he or she is doing. But you find another pupil who just dropped in class 7, becomes a very good mason, becomes a very good carpenter, a very good artist. And that is what CBC entails. Some parents seem not to understand the CBC clearly.
Utashindwa na watu wa CBC. Unapata unachukua mtoto wa class 6 wanapeleka form 1. Hiyo ni kazi ngumu kwa walimu. Kwingine huku unapata wanachukua mtoto ambaye amepata E wanampeleka form 1. Hiyo bado ni kazi mzito kwa walimu. Sasa hapa utakuwa naelekeza walimu wapi? Mimi na hii ng'ombe yangu nitajimudu, ninapatia maji polepole, nitafaidika tu hapa nikikulia hapo.
Some who are aware about it have got a lot of misconception about the CBC.
Hey,
CBC. Hii CBC mimi naona hii CBC ni mzuri sana. Hii CBC inasaidia hata mtoto wangu ameenda drama, ameimba, hakuwa anajua kuimba. Sasa hata anajua kuimba, anaweza imba. Juzi naye mwingine anatoka hata anaenda kufagia soko. Amefagia soko, kurudi napata mtoto amefagia nyumba. Hii CBC ni mzuri. Inasaidia inasaidia. Inasaidia. Hii CBC inafaa tu iendelee. Mtoto ajue kufagia. Mtoto amefagia nyumba, akanipangia vitu. Akasema alikuwa anafundishwa kufagia sokoni. Imesaidia mtoto anafagia nyumba vizuri sana. Hii CBC iendelee. Mimi najua nikimaliza kunywa hii chai yangu, atanioshea kikombe, anioshea ibirika. Ataosha ibirika ikuwe msafi sana kwa sababu amefundishwa shuleni hata kuosha vyombo.
There are some challenges in CBC. As much as it is a good thing, we actually have some challenges. We need to indulge our parents and involve them more. We need to do some trainings for them, because if you look at a learning area like home science, learners are having a problem. There are certain things that are needed. The parents shall be called upon to provide even soap, even a handkerchief. You find that they cannot provide that. Now, how do you teach that? We shall need some certain things like threads and what have you. Maybe if the government can also increase the allocation to meet the expectations of the teachers within that particular class, then I think we will be running so well. But as we are today, the parents need actually some in-service so that they understand what it entails. We also need to involve our teachers more. CBC is too involving, and therefore we must also check on the limit of lessons per week. Maybe if CBC is to be very good, according to my own opinion, a teacher is supposed to have 25 lessons in a week. That will be very, very okay, at least 2 lessons in a week. So we need manpower in that particular area. And then infrastructure, we need to look at that in wider perspective, because things like science and technology, we shall need even some laboratories to do such kind of things. So infrastructure need to be improved so that we can take CBC to greater heights. Another challenge that we have is actually the balancing of the staffing, because you realize that there are some teachers who don't actually know drama. A whole school doesn't have any interest in drama and music. So a learner who is having a talent in that particular area actually is disadvantaged as compared to another learner in the school where they have a drama teacher and a music teacher. So teachers also need to be defined so that this is a music teacher, this is a drama teacher, this is an art and craft teacher, this is this particular teacher, so that we give these learners good time to actually exploit those potential, identifying these talents, these particular areas, so that we can have these learners actually concentrating and specializing in their area to create more professionals, as CBC requires us to do.
CBC has also helped teachers in the identification of the talents within the learners. It has helped us to get some very good artists within the schools. Children who can draw very well, others are talented in music. We are very good dramatists. Children who are very active in drama, in football, and other areas that the teachers have identified. In fact, the children have a lot of potential in them, and if well nurtured, this system will help us produce very good children in future.
Wazuri wazidi kuzaliwa na dunia nayo yazidi haribika. Kijana, wazuri wazidi kuzaliwa na dunia nayo yazidi haribika. Kijana, maisha ya TV tutaishi sisi, wengi wanapotea.